Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Black Tower Podcast. As you can see, our Soravan Mahale has sort of left, isn't here for the night. I was going to make another joke, then I was like, this is early in the video, and YouTube doesn't like that. Not that it really ever matters for us, but whatever. YouTube's also doing its weird thing, because, Waffles is commenting, and I can only see it in Restream. It's not popping up in the feeds for YouTube. Super weird. I don't know what's going on here. It was doing that to me last week, but only on my personal account, not the podcast account. So, yeah, good thing we use Restream, I guess, because it sees all comments, and YouTube's like, nope, not going to let you. But you know who will let you listen to this episode? Your two hosts for tonight. While Josh is away, the other Mahales will talk about the children of the Wheel of Time.
That's right. We're going to talk about things we're totally qualified to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. With our collective enormous experience with
so much experience.
Children.
Yep.
You know,
we've judged so many parents.
The making the children, the having the children, the rearing the children. Yeah. Anyway, I'm Andrew. I'm your Bajan Mahale.
And I'm Reese, your Ethan Mahale.
And if you want to go get some fantastic goodies, you can go see, not quite a Mahale, but you can go see New Creations by Jen, where you can gear up like a Mahale or like a proper Ashman. They do a whole bunch of custom stuff. A lot of it is Wheel of Time content creator inspired. They also do a lot of the Randland souvenir series that Rob and Jen designed. Rob, of course, of Weekly World News. Jen, of course, of New Creations by Jen. We have a section on there with a ton of great stuff that they put together for us and helped us curate over the last couple of years. But they also have stuff from a bunch of other content creators. They also have some stuff from Kate Redding and Michael Kramer. If you're not into any of that and you just need some personalized cool gifts for the holidays or whatever occasion, they do a lot of that stuff too. So go and check them out. Tell them we sent you. Do all that stuff. Oh yeah, Waffles is sick. Nice little upper respiratory infection thing that apparently she gave to our poison Machecker. Not poison checker, Mahale, the poison Machecker.
Poison McCheckers.
Poison McChecker. Well, to not poison you with spoiling you about what this episode is about before we get into it, here's a spoiler warning from our friends over at the Gleeman's Apprentice.
The Black Tower stands fully erect.
When the tower is bulging at full erectness, you must protect yourself from tainty spoilers.
Your spoiler condom must cover the immense girthiness of all 14 books of Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time.
With an itty-bitty tip at the top for the prequel New Spring.
If your condom is too small, you will get tainty spoiler jizz all up in your eye!
Or ears. You have been warned.
There you go. Though it does nothing to stop RSV. I mean, I think technically a condom would, but I also don't know that. I mean, it can be spread that way. I mean, it is bodily fluid. So, there's RSV in your semen. Be careful. Oh! But tonight's episode, as I said earlier, something also in/evolved with. I'm not going to say that because that's just going to come off wrong. Never mind. Got to be very careful with some of the jokes and shit about this episode because we're talking about the children of the Wheel of Time. What kind of child do you get from taint jizz? You get Mahales.
Find out.
You're going to learn today. So, the last battle, it ended the Third Age, but it did not end the entire story. The dragon is gone. The Forsaken are defeated. The pattern is turning, or the wheel is turning once again, or continuing to turn, however you want to look at it. Because I know somebody's going, it never stopped. But the most important figures of the Fourth Age may not be, and there's plenty of indications that it will not be, the heroes we know. Probably gonna be their children. They're sex trophies. They're crotch goblins. The crusty child that sneezed on Waffles and gave her RSV. Well, if I had to guess, that would have been one of Matt's kids, if it's one of this lot. Today we're looking at the next generation of the Wheel of Time. the heirs to kings and queens, the blood of the dragon, and the children who very well may and probably do, in some circumstances, we absolutely know they do, shape the fourth age. Welcome to the Black Tower Podcast. Yeah. All right, Reese, let's talk about children. It's time to have a conversation about kids.
Fine, if we have to.
Sorry, Damon, you're going to have to wait to have this conversation. We're first over here at BTP. We got a great question. Why do they even matter? Why would the kids even matter? Why do kids even matter? What are they really for, other than getting in the way? Surprising you with something around your birthday on a recording night. Unrelated example that comes out of nowhere, off the top of my head.
Just completely random.
Yeah. Has nothing to do with anything.
Nothing at all. Yeah, why would those kids matter? I mean, I guess if you want to get technical, they're kind of like, I don't know, like the future of the pattern. And like, they're who determine that future because they're like this generation and stuff. Something like that. I don't know.
Star Trek, the next generation. Who's in charge? A really old guy.
I mean, I think it's fun because it's one of those like it's the end of this series. Of course, it's vastly different than it was at the beginning, and so this is a generation that's coming in that the world is completely different. So their future is very different than the journey we just went on. It's not going to be anything like that. We have channelers that are able to have children with other channelers again. We haven't had that for thousands of years. We have the Shanshen that have to, like, that still exists. What do we do with those children that are coming up in that world that have to deal with whatever amount of information they get? That's a change. And, we've got the Aiel as well. Like, there are so many different factors here. Like, these kids are all, how do we reach?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, with the more allowable and increasingly socially acceptable practice of channelers breeding little crotch goblins of their own, we did a whole episode just a few episodes ago about the genetic ramifications of removing half of your breeding stock, essentially, in like a bloodline trait that gets passed down. Not to say that you should use people as breeding stock. Don't do that. That's disgusting and horrendous. But whenever you remove a portion of your gene pool of your bloodline that carries genes that allow favorable traits or assumedly favorable traits, ultimately that trait weeds out and gets weaker, and that's kind of how that's how microevolution works. And then eventually, once there's enough change, you're like, oh, look, and it's an entirely different species that evolves. And it's like, it's just like thousands and thousands and thousands of years of microevolution. So within the fourth age, we should see stronger channelers, as we, I think, ultimately determined from our episode on genetics and the One Power. Specifically about channeling. We didn't really talk about anything else. Not that there's really that much to talk about. Yeah. So, I mean, and there's a chance you could wind up with like families that wound up becoming dynasties that like notoriously produce strong channelers. It's a very like common thing in like magic based TV shows and anime that like, oh, I come from the notorious Smith family that always makes the strongest knights and paladins, and it's like, okay. And then of course there's the main character that's like stronger than everybody else. So like, oh, you're shit. But probably the best way to go about talking about this is we do know of some, at least one child that already exists, and some children that, well, depending on your, I guess, opinion, do and don't. Schrodinger's children, if you will, do and don't exist, because they are still both in the figurative sense, but in the colloquial slang sense, still in the box, if you will. So to start with that, we're going to talk about the child between somebody that has a box and someone that was in a box, twice at least. Rand and Elayne, the dragon's children, the dragon's bloodline, starting with Elayne. Oh, so many box jokes. So I think I agree with like our prompt here for this. Sorry, go ahead, Reese.
No, you're on it. I was laughing at the box jokes.
So many box jokes. Which, just saying that makes me think of, did you ever watch Danny Phantom?
Yeah.
I am the box ghost. It's him just popping out. I'm like, oh, sorry, I got confused. Different kind of box. My bad, guys. So Elayne's twins. I do agree with this with our prompt here. These are probably going to be the most important children in the world. Because we see some stuff about these kids from Aviendha. We catch a glimpse of them from Aviendha's second or third trip into Meridian. She goes thrice, right? Or does she only go twice?
I think twice.
Whatever. Her final trip into Ruidian. Whether it's the second or third, I can't remember. Who cares? She goes again, and she can see the future. Rand's children become the most important in the world. They can use magic without embracing the source. They're always holding on to the source. They can always channel.
Everyone's pipes are lit everywhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're lit. All right. She can see the future joke will resonate with Team 4-Star DBZ Abridged fans. Gohan's the strongest in the universe. The Patty never trains. So these children wound up being the heirs to the kingdoms of Andor and Kyrian, and by extension of being part of the Trakan household, they wound up getting raised in the most powerful royal house in the Westlands because Elayne Trakan controls, just like their heirs to, Andor and Kyrian. At this point, now, of course, the capital is going to be a little different, given that it kind of got, I can make jokes, but I'm not going to make those jokes right now because we don't do that kind of stuff here. It got fucked up. The shadow kind of mushroom stamped Camelin a little bit, and kind of rubble. It's kind of looking a little ruiny. So
it's got
to build a new one.
It's got a lot more, entrances than it used to have.
Yeah. It's an open concept floor plan for a city.
Mm-hmm.
But the Ogier are back, kind of up and around, and maybe they can build some groves and get some Ogier construction in there.
Mm-hmm.
Pick up some Ogier workers from Home Depot. I just love the idea now that you have Ogier waiting for work, just hanging out in Home Depot parking lots,
just singing.
You're like, I need 3 tree singers for the next 2 days. I'll pay you 8 Andoran gold crowns.
The trees in the Home Depot parking lot are the healthiest in the whole city.
Those parking lots can use all the help they can get. All the weeds grow up, but the side effect is like the pavement's all cracked because they accidentally keep growing weeds. So yeah, somebody's gonna get mad at that joke. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like if you get mad at that joke, then think about what you're assuming I'm talking about there, because that hit your brain, not mine, or at least you can't prove it. So just gonna dig that hole deeper. But yeah, so there's a good chance they're gonna be like stupid strong Chandlers, because Elayne, stupid strong. Rand, stupider stronger. Like, unfathomable. Now, how much of that came from like the dragon moniker? How much of that came from being the reborn soul of Luce Theron? But still, really strong Chandlers, really strong political figures. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with, especially with the whole, like, we can channel and can't really turn it off kind of thing, which is nuts.
These are like the ultimate Nepo babies.
Yeah.
Like,
which is why I'm evaluating them right now.
Mm-hmm.
What I do. I evaluate the wheels Nepo baby.
They're Nepo in both
But these
power
are the most.
and position.
Yeah. These are the most Nepo babies of the Nepo babies.
Nepo babies. The Nepo. Yeah. The Nepoians of Nepo.
Yeah. But here comes a good question. So we know in the lead up to the last battle, outside of Elayne being convinced that nothing bad can happen to her as long as she's pregnant, and not thinking about the fact of like, well, what if somebody just made you unpregnant? Then you're no longer like gonna be fine. Which definitely almost happens. And she's like, oh shit, this is a loophole in the vision. I didn't see this coming. It's like, yeah, look, you don't deserve it, but maybe don't be an assumptive asshole. Because one person that's never been wrong was like, yeah, as long as you're pregnant, you'll be fine. And you're just like, yeah, well, I can't get unpregnant. And some dude with a knife is like, wanna bet? So up until then, she didn't put out the rumor, but she allowed people to believe that it was the captain of her guard's children that she was pregnant with, because he had been trying to smash so hard. Dude was so thirsty for that Trakan box. Just so thirsty. Like, you could throw this dude in a freshwater pond and he could drink the whole thing and he still wouldn't quench his thirst. Alright? Major Payne could shove his foot so far up his ass that the water on his knee still wouldn't quench his thirst. Look at that. There's 2 pop culture references for you. But after the fact, do you think she lets people know that these are the late great Rand al'Thor, the Dragon Reborn's children? Because as far as everybody else knows, that guy is dead. So like, oh yeah, these are the children of the dead guy, you know, that saved us all. Or do you think she's just like, don't worry about it?
I mean, I feel like at that point she's gotta admit it, right? Because I mean, feel like,
would it be rude not to? Like, disrespectful to, like, the memory of Rand? Like, not to her, obviously, because she knows, like,
yeah,
Rand's soul lives on in Moradin's body. You know, it's all like, oh, new penis, who this?
yeah.
But the world doesn't know that.
It's to both worlds.
Rand slinging that dark friend dick now. Oh, Waffle seems to think so, that Elayne would let people know the truth.
Yeah, I feel like she almost has to, just like for their like title, I guess. Like for them to them to have their full Nepo powers, people need to know.
Wonder Nepo powers activate. Form of heir of Andor. Form of heiress of Carrion. I mean, because there's also the part where, like, they're going to take on some of the physical traits of Rand, right? Somebody's going to notice, like, oh, they don't look at all like the Captain General. They kind of look like the guy that, I don't know, saved all of humanity, that we all know very well what he looked like. And either she fucked another Aielman, or, more likely, the guy that she was always around before all this is probably the dad. And then there's gonna be people, because Morghese is not really gonna come around and be like, oh, look at me, everybody, I'm still alive. Like, she's probably gonna, like, try to leave her quiet life with Talavor, just hanging out in a field, so like a field, farming some shit, whatever, you know, for the first time in her life, not being surrounded by lavish lifestyle. And she's like, look, this is nice. And which is probably the origin story for the show Green Acres, if you've ever seen it. If you haven't, it's a great show, but that's what I expect now. Morghese and Talavor are just Green Acres in the Fourth Age. I just adore a penthouse view. Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue. Such a good show. Man, somebody's got to notice. Like, it kind of looks, those kids look a lot like the guy that saved all of our lives. Waffle says, it was more so I think it'd be disrespectful to his memory. Of course, I don't know where this is in the series, because I'm not there. That's my opinion based on limited knowledge. Good thing Waffles is fine with spoilers.
And, you know,
Captain,
honestly,
you are not the father.
Honestly, that's probably the most, you know, correct answer, with us not being, you know, us. That's probably correct. And that it's like, yeah, respectful. But also, if you want to get those benefits, you gotta list who the father is.
Yeah. I mean, do you? Because, like, it's not like you're going to get alimony from the guy. Like,
I mean, if the alimony
for all
is
intents and
coming from
purposes,
the world,
he's dead.
But, like,
he's dead. Like, did she take out life insurance on him? Is she going to collect from the al'Thor estate? Like, is Tam al'Thor post last battle saddled with, like, supporting the children of a noble?
Would you put it past the Trakan family? Because
Elayne, absolutely. Like, as long as she's still got, like, you know, Lenny or someone to, like, make her milk baths, like, she'll be fine. Which is crazy. Like, she got all this trouble by letting something white in her box, and now she spends all of her time soaking in white shit. Like, I don't fucking get it. What's the fucking point? As inside, so outside. I don't know. Let's see how many horrendous jokes I can make this episode. I gotta make up for Josh not being here to make horrible jokes.
I feel like we just anytime Josh isn't here, we just like really rip on the we really rip on the kids. Like I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. We do.
And the parents a little bit.
Get in the way, man. Oh man. So we have those kids. Most powerful kids, most influential, politically kids as they're growing up.
They're the best kids.
In the West End. The greatest kids, the best kids. All right. Many people come to me with tears in their eyes, said they're the most beautiful children they've ever seen. All right. Not like those Sean Chen kids, you know, from across the border. Illegal kids. I have to stop there. I can't. T1, don't cry. Oh, anyway, on to a safer topic. Aviendha and the litter of 4 children she has. She has a fucking litter of 4 kids. Bruh.
This is safer.
Yeah, this is a safer topic. Dreamers. Every last one of them. Dreamers. So these kids, they're also described as extremely powerful channelers. I think they also have like the default just embracing the source kind of thing. That they have like this natural born leader kind of air about them, and that they become centralized figures in IL society, leading into the as the 4th age progresses. I mean, they have like insane lineage to follow, and Giotto is gonna require some homage to their lineage. There's gotta be some lingering respect for the children of the Karakarn that saved the IL as they exist. Because all the people that were like mad about everything Rand said and did, well, they're all like dead. So dead, gone, or just part of a different society now, like roaming. Like you ever play like a Civilization game and there's like random like camps of barbarians that show up and they always harass you in the early game? Like that's gonna be all of the lost ones and deserters. Like they're just gonna be like random IL-esque bandits. But I mean, because the IL have a whole new like overarching purpose. Because by aiding the Karakarn in the battle of in the last battle and doing everything they've already done, they've kind of like redeemed themselves from the sin of breaking the promise to the original Aes Sedai, and so now they don't have to like live in the waste to atone for their punishments, which is both cool but also like kind of sad because we're coming into an era of good times. So hard times make tough people. Tough people make good times make soft people make hard times, kind of cycle. So now they're getting into the soft times, so we're about to get the soft people. Not a single little blue pill to be found anywhere. No. All soft.
Jellyfish.
I don't think it was SpongeBob's jellyfish dance.
Have you seen the video of the kid that can do it like perfect?
Oh yeah, absolutely nuts.
It's insane. I like practice. That kid's my dream.
I can't. There's no part of me that can move any of those ways.
I can do like parts of it, so like every now and then I can like whip out something that he does enough to get a laugh, but I can't do the whole thing. But someday.
It's absolutely nuts.
It's so good.
So, but now like the biggest change now that these kids are going to grow up with is like male IO channelers aren't like, they don't have to leave. Mm-hmm. They get to stay home. They get to hang out. You get to live a life amongst the IO. And so now that's going to be like incorporated into IO culture and society. Because like previously the only people that could use magic were the IO wise ones. And it was really easy. You just sent them over to wise ones and that was their business. And you know, who cares? Now like you're going to have like clan chiefs and shit that can channel. And now it's going to be like, hey, Giotto, like oh, you gain much G for not touching an enemy with your hands, not your weapon or the one power. Like, there's gonna have to be like some asterisk and shit added into like all of this shit. But that also makes me think like you had to have like maidens and shit, like female warriors that were like using the one power while they were fighting, because by the time they become wise ones, they're already old enough to have channeled before.
Yeah. I'm also thinking about like the Aiel sense of humor, like with a bunch of like channelers, like with like male and female channelers, like just amongst the society, like with that sense of humor. Oh my gosh, the pranks that are gonna be happening.
Just open like a gateway underneath somebody's feet. Like, ha!
And it would be into like something stupid like mud, and then there'd be no water to clean off or something like that would, and that would be the joke. Like that would like they'd have the best pranks. Like they'd have so many good pranks.
Endless possibilities. Prank gates instead of death gates. I can use it to like snip a dude's belt so his pants fall down while he's giving a speech.
Yeah, I could see.
So you have all that, you know, kind of reintegration and stuff. So again, that's going to take a while to get back out there, and you have the children of Aviendha and Rand to guide that development. Now if we really want to speculate, which is pretty much all we're doing this whole episode. We can speculate about men having children. M-I-N, the third of the throuple. Or I guess cruple here, because there's 4 of them in total, I guess, including Rand. Cruple. So, if we were to assume that men got pregnant towards the very end, like one last romp before the last battle, and that's the one that did it. Those are the swimmers that made it through. Do you think they would
I
mean, do you think they'd be able to channel? Do you think they'd inherit Rand's ability to channel, or do you think maybe not? I mean, he's already like fathered at least 6 crazy powerful channeling children.
This is an interesting one because I always wonder with men, like I can't remember her talent. Is that hereditary? Did like her mother or anyone have that? No. Okay,
no,
so that would not necessarily be passed down. That's just kind of like by chance.
Because like she doesn't like her mom or her family because they always used it to make money.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
basically her parents pimped her out, which is why she doesn't want to be stuck in like the White Tower, because she doesn't want to basically be stuck in the same situation. She doesn't want to become she doesn't want to become, you know, she doesn't want the Amyrlin, you know, to be her new pimp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's more of like an as needed from the pattern. So the chance of like their kids having that is slim. Channeling, however, I don't know. I wonder with channeling how much of it's like is it a Venn diagram that is
the 2 circles that overlap?
Okay, so that's not what I mean then. It's like the one that you use for hereditary traits, like the
Punnett square?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so that's where like is channeling like a like what's
dominant or recessive?
Yes, yeah. Is it a dominant trait? So like does Min have like a recessive trait, and that's what gives her the ability to have this talent? Or is it completely, you know, unrelated to channeling at all? And does she have no traits? Like, is there a possibility? Like, I feel like that's an interesting, like, genetics question where it's like, where does the channeling gene fall?
Yeah. Well, I can't claim credit for this idea because the prompt kind of guru came up with it. But so Rand already has like a really unique relationship and interaction with the pattern itself, right? And in the way reality works. And by the end of everything, Rand is ascendant beyond Bodhisattva, and whether it's like a creator blessed thank you gift for, you know, saving all of creation, or it's he fully understands the fundamentals of the universe. He's become the Neil deGrasse Tyson meets Stephen Hawking minus the island thing. Ultimate understanding of everything. and now he can just manipulate the reality at will. Do you think maybe that part of Rand mixes with Min's close ties to the pattern because she gets to see the future of the threads of the pattern, and like instead of the children inheriting some like other like ungodly powerful channeling ability, they wind up with like some other abilities that are closer to like that interactiveness or close knitness with the pattern, or like they can see the threads and or shit like that.
They end up being like the oracles that can read the pattern.
She has 3 kids, and they're all the fate. They become the fates
The
of
fates.
Greek mythology.
Yeah, that's
But they're tied together, so only one can use the power at once, and that's why the fates have to share the eye.
that's crazy.
Or at least they do in Hercules. I don't know if that's actual Greek mythology. Then that might just be the Disney's Hercules.
That's pretty fun.
I could see that. That'd be a pretty cool like twist on it. Like, hey, we can't channel, but I see at this crystal ball that you are going to finish too quickly. You suck. Be gone, pump chump. Either way, like even just politically, like all of Rand's kids are going to be like stupid powerful.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, do you know who my father was? So anything else on the Children of the Dragon, the Fruit of the Dragon Balls? Dragon, ride the dragon.
Yeah, I think that covers it.
Sweet. So we have other royal bloodlines that we can discuss. One we've already hinted at. Mat and Tuon's future kids, the ones that get plagued with the punishment of living in Shan-Chan territory, dealing with the ramifications of the Crystal Throne and its proclivity for assassination. So they're already going to be like half Shan-Chan, half Westlander, so you're going to have the conflicting ideologies of Mat and Tuon when it comes to rearing the kids. Because also at this point, Tuon is now well aware that in Shan-Chan, all the Soldam are essentially just uncollared Damane, including herself.
And so, given what we know about both, Robert Jordan and his neck for, just irony, and Matt's bloodline, like his sister's abilities, like their kids are going to be massively powerful channelers. That's just the way it's going to go. Like, have to.
I'd agree with that. And so, given the Shan-Chan proclivity for self-preservation and the preservation of the things you care about and saying fuck everything else, I feel like that mixed with Matt being like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of channelers either. However, slavery's not cool.
Yeah.
Especially whenever it's a collar around their neck. It's going to make his scar itch every fucking time. He's like, it's not, no. Like, we can't do this. I feel like, for sure, their relationship is going to lead to the dissolution of the practice of Damane.
Yeah.
Especially once they have children. Because I imagine they're going to have more than one. Because you don't just have one kid in Shan-Chan as a member of the blood, because it's too easy to, like, erase your heirs if you only have one kid.
And, like, think of how protective he was of his sisters. I mean, of all of these people. If he has children, can you imagine anyone trying to get near them with a collar? Oh my gosh, Matt will go badger shit on them. Like, absolutely. Like, yeah.
Imagine, like, if he has daughters in, like, their first date, the first time a boy shows up to, like, pick him up to go on a date, and Matt's just sitting there, like, one eye, cap pulled down, twirling in a chandelier like it's weightless and nothing.
He's like, I bet Perrin would be nicer to you.
I wish Uncle Pear was here to let us do this. But, I mean, well, I wish bloody Uncle Bloody Pear. Because they're going to swear. They're going to swear early on.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, like, Matt's not going to allow his fucking kids to go that way. So either he's going to, like, kidnap his kids and run away for safety, or they're going to dismantle the practice of Damane. Which I think, ultimately, dismantling the practice of Damane would allow the Shan-Chan to have more powerful channelers for their eventual, betrayal of the Dragon's Peace and conquest into the Westlands.
Yeah, if they really want to take over, they have to get rid of Damane.
Yeah.
It's just
so,
really.
you already have a Shanshan Empire that, by the way it operates itself, already has as a single like kingdom or at least had, not taking into account the losses in the last battle, but assuming they're going to recoup all that, the most tactically well trained, organized, and disciplined military in the entire world, minus channeling ability. Now you give them channelers. I mean, it's like take maybe outside of the IEL, fine. So regular military, but it's like taking the IEL and then like giving them nukes, like that level of competency. But then you take away all of the Jiatou and just give them like a burning biological desire for conquest, like the worst version of Wanderlust that you can have. Like eyeball, like the Shanshan are like eyeballing Poland in 1938 really fucking heavily.
I do wonder though if they will have, like, if the Shanshan will have some type of, of internal rebellion to deal with when, the channeling is kind of made known, when it's like, oh, the people that have been enslaving the channelers can also channel themselves. Oh, hold on. So you mean we're way stronger than you are? Okay, cool. Like, I wonder if there's going to be like ramifications of that knowledge once it gets out.
So like their own version kind of the White Cloaks, but instead of it being like a nobody should do this, you're going to be like, this power is too dangerous to be uncontrolled.
Yeah, kind of like we've been doing it this way and now we realize we're wrong. So kind of like almost just like a reassessment of power. Like now that they realize the scale has changed. I wonder if they're like, before any of these children can actually come to power, like I wonder if they're going to have to deal with like war in Shanshan, because their whole like lifestyle has been upset by this knowledge. And will that knowledge get out too? Because I think that's kind of part of it, right?
Yeah. Well, I think it's unavoidable that it does.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's pretty true.
Even if that's what happens. Like Matt and Tuon ultimately, like after they have kids, Matt becomes the face of resisting the Damane like tradition. Tuon wants to maintain it, so like they're estranged like counter leaders of rebel factions. Matt like just trying to get his estranged wife to see reason and let the practice of Damane go. Tuon unable to let like tradition slide because she grew up in it and is just like, this is just the way it is.
They end up starting the Hunger Games.
Bruh. Fucking Matt's kids. I volunteer as tribute. You've won the last 7. You can't keep doing this. Maybe. But I mean, I'm assuming like the way Matt acts and does, and as much as he's like infatuated essentially with Tuon, because as much as he tries to deny it, he absolutely is. He's like, oh yeah, hell yeah. Mm-hmm. Like he may not be able to pull her hair, but he's gonna put a plunger on that head and be like, yeah, let's go. Have you seen those videos where it's just like it's that whole like "don't talk to me" like music trend, and it's the girl without, like, she has like alopecia, so she doesn't have hair, and then it like gets stitched with the dude that just pulls out a plunger and he's like, where there's a will, there's a way. All right, it's not degrading if it's a kink. All right, I mean, unless your kink is being degraded, then 2 for 1 special, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, so you know, one. I mean.
I see this as an absolute win. All right. Next power couple of one new nobility, one old nobility. Perrin and Fael's future children. If there's anybody in the Wheel of Time series that I think should be the inventor of lambskin condoms, it's Perrin.
That's great. Yeah.
Just fucking don't. But they're married. They're in the 2 rivers. They get to have like a quasi-autonomous zone situation with the 2 rivers for now. They're gonna have kids. I mean, there's no way they don't. Mm. So this brings in a good question too then, because in the books we don't really, like, Perrin's family is still around, but we don't see them a whole lot. I think they're still around, but he basically just lives with the Luhans because as a blacksmith apprentice, you live with the blacksmith and their family. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. There you go. There's a fantastic chance after 50 minutes, because I haven't said anything else in this episode that you could be like, that's fucked up, Andrew. That's wrong. It's a great chance for you to do that.
Everything's been completely just like level.
Yeah, pretty level.
Yeah.
Factually accurate, I'm sure.
Sure. Nothing emotional at all.
Nothing offensive or anything.
Nope.
Meant completely in a humorous, joking sense. None of it meant actual, literally. So I'm sure somebody will be like, oh, look, it's a fucking white guy making a joke. Oh, he's a piece of shit, clearly. At which point, I call you a racist. Anyway. Do you think any part of the Wolf Brother or Wolf Brother abilities or line, do you think any part of that might be hereditary?
I don't know. I feel like this is kind of a question about the capital T talents that, there's a few of them throughout the series that I'm not sure. Like, I would kind of the same with Min. I would think hers is a capital T talent.
Yeah, I could absolutely see that.
Yeah, and so I don't know, like, I would think with it's a tough one with the capital T talents because we don't have as much experience in them. I feel like with Wolf Brother would be genetic. It seems, but I don't know though, because I feel like we would have heard it from some of the other, he's the first one in his family to have it. It can't just be from exposure. There's plenty of wolves around the Two Rivers. So maybe it's like Min, and that it wouldn't necessarily pass on because it's more like an as needed trait rather than a hereditary trait. So I guess if I were betting, I would say these kids would be incredibly strong, snarky, noble kids with no capital T talent, unless absolutely not. Because I feel like if there had been, if somebody in his family before had this, we would have heard of it. We would have known it. It wouldn't have been so like surprising. Would have shown up before. So no, I think they're all just.
By the way, you did a fantastic job of riffing on like that point.
Thank you.
I appreciate you so much. Because it's hard. It's hard whenever it's just you and you're just like, what more can I say about the exact same point of like feeling I have? So I wonder if because Perrin, he has like an activation moment of his wolf brotherness, right?
Okay, yeah, that's true.
So what if it is something that sits there and it's dormant until there's something to activate it?
And it's more of just kind of like, oh, that person has like a sixth sense. They have, they have good instincts.
Yeah.
Unless it's actually activated and then it goes all.
Almost like you're a carrier, but it doesn't activate.
Yeah.
But less disease, like, and more like just neat abilities. I don't know. I could see it, or maybe it like manifest in milder ways for the kids. Like they just want it being like athletically gifted, and one of them like just has super good eyesight, and another one is like just has an uncanny ability to tell when people are upset.
The other one is in choir, an amazing voice, just can sing and howl for hours.
Yeah. One just is a really good dancer, but only like the raunchy dances.
Right. The other one's in debate club. They just like fighting.
And they have like they're all like little rebels. Like they're really good about listening to mom, but they never listen to dad.
Unless they can smell that it's like he's angry.
Yeah. And even then, they were like, Dad still hasn't done this, and we can tell he really needs to do it, so we're just going to do it for him behind his back, even though he expressly told us not to. Maybe. The last section of noble children, or children of nobility, is again one already noble, and then one person made noble by marriage. Land and Nynaeve's children. They're going to have, like, potentially the most historically significant, politically powerful bloodlines, because you have Nynaeve as a descendant of the blood of Manetheren, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Lan, the, last surviving son of Malkiri nobility.
Mm-hmm.
that now gets to come back into Malkir as like someone that had to run away and escape Malkir as it was overtaken by the Blight, and now lived and fought and is able to retake Malkir from the Blight with the aid of his Manetheren descendant wife, who is also a super powerful Aes Sedai.
And I think I can speak definitively when I say their hair is going to be phenomenal.
Especially when they go Super Saiyan while using sword forms. Absolutely going to happen. And this is to go even further beyond. Meanwhile, everybody's like, why are they screaming for like 30 minutes? That makes no sense. But, I mean, Malkir, by the time the end of the series hits us, and the Blight is receding and everything, like, just because of the people that came to the Golden Crane to ride for the last battle, Malkir is definitely well on its way of being, like, reestablished and rebuilt, right? There's a ton of people that show up. They're all, the vast majority of them are very skilled warriors. A fair portion probably survive. I mean, and then they're gonna have, like Nynaeve as like their ultimate healer. Yeah, 3 books of powering up. I mean, we do get that. So do you think like maybe like their children kind of start doing a similar thing to like the tradition that Andor has, where like their kids go to the White Tower to train? If they're, if they're females, and like maybe if they're males that can channel, they go to the Black Tower to train, and they have like that exchange program.
Yeah, probably. Like, I feel like that's a fair assumption.
I guess that would go for any of these, like, children. Male channelers would probably do a stint at the Black Tower, if not go through the full program, and female channelers would probably go through the White Tower. Obviously skill and power dependent, but I think any of these kids that can channel, they're going to be able to channel strong enough to make it to like Ashaman or Aes Sedai. Until eventually someone's like, why do we have separate towers? Let's just merge them together. And they're like, oh, look, Aes Sedai is everybody again. Everybody's like, what's that weird power source? It's through this thin veil. Let's drill a hole in it and figure it out.
I like it. That sounds super unique, like it's never happened before.
I just had a random thought about that. So we found out on like the 10-year anniversary of Memory of Light that Lanfear actually survived the last battle, that she tricked Perrin into thinking he killed her. What if she essentially survives every turning and comes all the way back around to the Age of Legends, and her drilling the bore into the Dark One's prison was actually deliberate rather than accidental, looking for power?
I like
Since she survived, like, and she knows.
It's crazy.
Like, we already know she'll do some crazy stuff out of desperation. What if, like, she falls back in love with somebody else and is so desperate for another chance to have and control them that she's like, all right, it didn't work last time. I'm sure it'll work this time.
She's last ages Nakomi. She just couldn't get past it, so she had to keep trying.
The anti-Nakomi. Give him bad advice.
Just has to keep trying until she wins.
I just love him so much, but he stays out all night and doesn't come home until 3 o'clock in the morning.
What if that's
You should stay with him.
What if she is the anti-Nakomi? We always think that it's someone like Ishii or Moradin or someone like that, but it's actually just
Lanfear.
It's just Lanfear. She actually is the version of the Dark One, because she's always after her own goal. And isn't that kind of like the ultimate selfish goal, is what you're after yourself, right? So, well, I guess the Dark One is just like an end to all existence.
Yeah. I do. This is my headcanon now, that Mirren didn't make Mirren's drilling into the board wasn't an accident, that it was intentional. That Lanfear is one of the few figures that just actually never dies.
Mirren never existed. She was always just a persona of Lanfear from a different turning.
Ah, hell yeah. Have been many things throughout the ages. But she's lived so long, that's why her only focus is on having somebody to share her life with and ruling the pattern with them. She doesn't care about like immortality or anything like that, because she's already got it. That's why she also is like, I'll just kill you and try again later. Like this is gonna come around again. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
What if she just is the creator and she just keeps this going because she can't get what she actually wants?
Right. She's just the creator's like lust manifest.
Yeah, she just continuously just keeps respinning it because she can't ever get what she wants.
Like one of the fucking prize wheels. She just keeps going, all right, let's try again. Forsaken again. Damn it.
All right. Well, spin again.
Oh, all right. All right. We'd be remiss or amiss or whatever the phrasing is to not talk about Oliver, the second hero of the Horn of the Third Age, the last hero of the Horn of the Third Age, the kid with the Mad TV face, if you know that reference. So he basically gets the bulk of his rearing and raising by Matt and the Band of the Red Hand, which even Matt goes, we're raising this child all the wrong ways. Like, bruh, like this kid learns all of Matt's tricks and all the other men's tricks from the band of how to woo and attract women. But he's young enough to where like they still kind of let him get away with it. Like, oh, he's so funny. He's so cute and innocent. He's only deranged because he's surrounded by a bunch of burly soldier men that are all disgusting, degenerate bastards. Like, it's an excuse. Like, he's got like the best of both. His teenage years are going to be a rude fucking wake up. I imagine. Like, the only person that's going to give him a second look is like Brigitte. Whenever she's reborn, she'd be like, "Oh, look, you're so ugly." Or are you? Does the name Guy O'Kane ring a bell? Like, no, not you. Well, you'll do until he's here.
Every year she's like, "How old are you now?" Giggity. Okay.
18. All right. So he witnesses the Horn of Valir firsthand, being the horn sounder. And he's surrounded by legendary soldiers. So he's around Chelvannon all the time for his skills. He's around Talmanis for all of his tactics and skills. He gets to see Matt and all of his tactics and skills. Not to mention all of the other incredible people that you have in the band and the shit that the band is able to pull off. So does he just grow up to be like a great military mind for the Fourth Age? Like, is he gonna be one of the great generals of the Fourth Age potentially? Like maybe for Andor? Like that maybe he becomes like captain of the guard for Elayne.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Honestly.
It's like, yeah, we'll choose a captain of the guard this time that's so ugly nobody thinks I'm fucking this one.
He almost ends up being like inadvertently he creates another version of himself who has no idea he is really good at like.
Oh, you mean like Matt does?
Battle. Yeah, like Matt has no clue that he's good at battle and can actually be a great. He does that to Oliver accidentally. Oh yeah. Oliver's just like around them so much, like he's shooting dice and playing, snakes and foxes, but overhearing all of their planning, and so. As he gets older, he's just like, oh, you just do this, thinking nothing of it. And then people are like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, no, you just do this. And he ends up being accidentally brilliant.
They're like, oh, yeah, no, we understand it now whenever you don't say it in the old tongue. And he's like, the what?
Yeah, that would be accurate.
Because what if he has a touch of, like, Matt's luck? Because, like, there's the whole, like, parallel of Oliver playing the game of snakes and foxes. Mm-hmm. At the same time that, Matt and Tom and Moraine and Noel, right? Yeah, are trying to escape the Tower of Genji. What if Oliver has, like, a little bit of that luck? Like, just enough, just a touch.
Mm-hmm. I'd believe it.
Good work.
It would make sense. I mean,
there's a general vacuum with it.
Yeah. It's almost like, like attracts like. Where it's like these two end up being like down on their luck, so they find it elsewhere in the pattern. Like they just look for it elsewhere in the pattern, and the pattern delivers, or they like force the pattern to deliver.
Induced pattern labor. Gotcha.
I
mean that's kind of what the Horn of Valir is. Induced pattern labor. Like we need these heroes now. We're gonna interrupt the normal cycle of rebirth and just bring them all here now.
And Oliver and Matt are just doulas of the pattern. They're just really good at massaging the pattern. Oh, don't cancel me.
Yeah, I think you're safe given everything I've said. All right. So I think we're good to kind of jump to the end of our thing here because we're getting kind of late. We've already talked about the genetics of channeling and how that might affect, and Heroes of the Fourth Age is entirely speculative, and it could be anybody. But there's the laws of fantasy generally indicate that these kids are going to play a massive role in it and probably be those legends. There's that. But as we get to the end here, do you have like any kind of like predictions, like something along the lines like Rand's bloodline just existing dramatically increases like the potency of channelers or the frequency that channelers are born at, like as his genes get spread wider? Or do you think that his bloodline will be pretty good until it dilutes down far enough?
So I wonder, and this is something we didn't really talk about yet, so I'll throw it in now as kind of like a wild card, but I wonder how much of these bloodlines will carry the ta'veren nature with them. Like, will Rand's kids have a higher conception rate with their partners simply because they're Rand's kids? Like, will there still be like that ta'veren like leftovers in these channelers, or will the pattern kind of like figure that out? Like, no, we don't need that anymore and kind of get rid of it. Or will that also kind of play into the genetics of these children, like these high profile children? Will there still be some like ta'veren leftovers in them? I think that's another part that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it could be. Because I think we know that by the end, or I think it's like generally accepted by the end, I don't want to say we know, because I'm frequently wrong whenever I say that kind of shit, that by the end of the series, Rand, Matt, and Perrin are no longer ta'veren.
Okay.
Because like it comes up a lot when you talk about Matt post last battle. Which like how much of his like luck and the dice and all that, how much of that was related to his ta'verenness, over how much of that is like Matt's special thing, like Perrin's wolf brotherness and Rand being able to use magic. Because like Rand being swapped into Morden's body also allows the pattern to remove the dragon moniker from him. So any kind of like strength and channeling boost he got from that is probably gone. Because ta'veren are created as an object of need, and it can become active and deactive. Because like as they were growing up, like their ta'verenness didn't affect anything until they started leaving Amon's field and doing that shit. Presumably, we don't have like the childhood of Rand, Matt, and Perrin, but Tam in his fever dream doesn't talk about the whole way home I kept finding gold and all these people like got married and started having kids in the street. Like there's not like notable events like that happen around them. Like the most miraculous thing from childhood from any of the Mons builders I think we learn of is that like Egwene should have died of breakbone fever, but Nynaeve was able to save her, and that was the first ever for a wisdom.
That was when I was thinking of that, but there were like multiple factors there. Yeah.
I mean, there could be an argument made that like there was a small sliver of like Rand's ta'verenness that needed Egwene to survive.
True.
That helped out in that, but I like to give Nynaeve her full agency and say that was all on her, because the pattern would have just picked somebody else.
That's
like
true.
Rand should have done in season 1 of the Wheel of Time TV show instead of sticking with Egwene. I guess we'll see how much better Rafe Judkins does with the God of War TV show. Oh no, you got fired from that too. Oh, crazy. I went from having so much faith to being like, you suck, you jackass. Anyway, children.
Children.
Any other like prediction type thought ideas as we round this episode out?
I think it's kind of I think this is like it's a fun topic because we do have a lot of opportunity just as far as the One Power is concerned. Even without the ta'veren nature, just the fact that you have male and female channelers, you have different channeling groups coming together. There are Aiel intermingling with wetlanders, with Aes Sedai, with freed Shanshan, like all sorts of different people are now coming together, and it's kind of
Aiel with hold on. With wetlanders?
dogs and cats living together.
Chaos and sin in the streets.
It's almost like that part in the Two Rivers, where people were starting to come over the mountains, and there was like all of these new crafts and
Pretty powerful,
different things coming in, and I feel like it's a similar kind of thing where it's like, there's going to be almost like a boom of power of capital T talents, where it's just like they're able to kind of be more open than they have been in the past. I think there's going to be a boom, and then of course like a balance out, and we'll eventually get back to where we were before. But I think it's like going to be a very fruitful near future as far as
boom,
concerned.
and then some shakalaka.
Boom shakalaka, yeah.
This is the nature of things.
There's going to be no gloving. There's going to be lots of loving. There's going to be lots of things being spread around, and not just bad things, but good things too.
Hey, condoms get invented and used as the wheel wheels. Wheels? Whatever. Oh no, the condom broke. The wheel weaves as the wheel wills. All right, Tom. All right. Well, that'll do it for this episode of the Black Tower Podcast. Thank you all for tuning in, listening, watching, liking, subscribing, sharing, whatever it is that you're doing. Again, please do like and subscribe if you enjoy what we do here. If you enjoy this episode, please don't hesitate to comment down in the show notes or down below, and let us know what you think about the children of the Wheel of Time, especially leading into the Fourth Age. Are they going to be the legends of the Fourth Age, or are they all going to make like one of Eludra's failed experiments and fizzle out, or blow someone's hand off?
Gasp! Gasp! That sounds like something Tammuz would do.
Scandalous.
But on me.
Scandalous. Falsy. Anyway, that'll do it for us. We love y'all. Again, I've been Andrew, your Bajan Mahale.
And I've been Reese, your Elayne and Aviendha.
And we're sure Josh will probably be back next week. It'll probably be all three of us, but we'll see, because the wheel weaves as the wheel comes. I mean, wills. So we'll see you next week when we talk about not children in the Wheel of Time.
Yay, something we're totally qualified to talk about.
Hey, thanks, bye-bye.
You've been waiting for this moment, for this feeling to grow. In the shadows, always watching, always running the show. In the tower, you can bring your pain. In the tower, you can feel the strain. You've been having so much trouble